early, believe it or not, in harvest already. Whoop whoop. I'm about to take the 240 with the Brent boxes, the little train that I call it, to the field. Dad just started the field for the day with combining, and so yeah, he needs the boxes, of course, and then I'll be taking over combining soon. They're hooked up here, the lights, clip to hold that so it doesn't just drag around. Fun fact about this thing, if you see this on the road, no matter what state you're in, what you're doing, just please slow down. You never know what's coming at you. So yeah, more than too often I get passed on a hill with these or anything, and it's very frustrating because not only is the driver putting themselves at risk for death, you're putting me and anybody in front of me at risk. So just slow down and be kind. Thank you. Made it to the field, as you can see. Today's agenda.
Drive ahead slowly. I'm going to back up a little bit so you get a little further away. Okay? We can make this work. I know we can. A little more.
Okay. I always have trouble with that latch. Get forward, whoop whoop. I'm gonna go ahead a little bit. I am able to swing or tilt the auger out if I feel I need to. I also have a camera on the screen here so I can kind of see. Usually we don't have the tarp side. Hug the one side. We're putting it at 33.6 to make it think it's 33.6 so that we'll see if it gives us a little bit of side room here, just a couple inches. I don't want to be stripping. What that means is leaving beans in the field because it's so tight. So we'll see here once I lock on. Good. I can move it a little bit, or what's awesome about it is it's totally like customizable, so I can shift it, I can remark it. There's just a bunch of things on the screen here in the GPS tab that I can like play with, I guess you could say, as I'm driving, or probably would do it as a stop and then do it and then see what the changes are. I'm doing outside rounds, so I just took a pass down and then now I'll be doing the last outside pass here. Got to eat my lunch while Dad was doing the second outside pass, so that worked out pretty slick. It's hard to eat lunch when both your hands are really occupied. But even without a steer, like it's just still, I get nervous sometimes just eating the lunch because you just always gotta be ready. But yeah, so some things I guess with beans that I probably haven't talked about yet. I know I haven't. Day 3 here with beans. I just figured I'd talk a little bit more about the beans. The beans are very short so far this year. There's been a drought here in central Minnesota, so at least where we're at. I know they're even 5 miles down the road. It was like a whole different story this summer. So they are very short this year. That's part of it. But there's so many other factors that could be a part of the short beans. But in years past, I've had to really go out and in with the reel a lot because if they're really thick, clumpy, a lot of leaves on them yet in areas, not the whole field, but you know, stuff like that. You gotta work with it. You gotta pull them in, but you can't pull them in too tight. With the reel, the settings here, I'm still learning, but thanks to my dad, my awesome dad, always telling me little tricks and tips, and you know, sometimes talk a little bit about the beans here and how it works, I guess. But with the reel speed too, you don't want it to be too slow, because if your reel speed is too slow, the beans are not going to feed on the belts. They're not going to feed evenly and be, go in the feeder house. So yeah, that's the adjustment over here. Time of day, that's a fun fact. Time of day is kind of important when it comes to reel speed, because when they get damper versus when they're drier, and that's all just based on the actual day. Like right now it's beautiful, it's 60 degrees, it's sunny, slight wind, like prime day for beans. Now cloudier days, or if we just got a little bit of rain the day before, 2 days before, sometimes the beans pick up that moisture. Sometimes they don't. We just got like almost an inch of rain. Oh gosh, when was it? A couple days ago, and we started, I think, like 2 or 3 days after that rain, and like they didn't pick up any. And we thought, oh, like they'll pick up a little moisture, but it's weird. And then the next farmer down the road says his beans did pick up moisture, and the other one says they didn't. So literally, that's farming, y'all. Like everybody's story is different. I am simply out here loving life, living life, and showing my farm life. Right now I'm working along a tree line, but this is the second pass, so it's not as crazy, but sometimes there will be branches down. Some of them run through the feeder house actually, and depending on the size, some are okay, but you never want that to happen. So yeah, constantly on the lookout for any fallen twigs, rocks, trash that flies. Rutting it up, and we're a no-till strip-till operation, so all those extra movements where you dig in a little bit somewhere, turn too sharp with the back tires or with other equipment out here, it makes a big difference. Like, it's soil compaction, and with no-till strip-till operation, that is definitely a huge yield, either problem or potential, because depending how you act out here, it's gonna affect the ground the next crop. Literally, like as we're harvesting, we're already impacting the next crop, next year's crop. Because if we were out here after it being like super muddy, we put those ruts in and we don't go work them up, those ruts are still gonna, like, they're there. Like, it's just a different, I guess, I don't know, maybe people are just used to working their ground, and I'm just so used to not, so it's a hard, like, yeah, so many different ways of farming. Not saying one is better than the other, I'm just saying, what I'm saying. Terminology on beans. I'm not sure if I talked about it in the other videos yet. Concaves, rotor speed, those are probably the two, and sieves, upper, lower. Those are chaffer. I'm just like thinking of stuff as it's all on the screen here, like things we're watching, things we're adjusting. If you've got your sample, but the kind of concept is to not wear out your same sickles. So like going straight here has been working great, but years past, or maybe yet this year, we will actually cut at an angle because you're using more of your sickles. It's a different pattern. Instead of the same, 3/4 scope. Instead of the same pattern, the same tube that you're using, you know, when you got the spacing that you do. But yeah, so there too, like we have a drill, that's the spacing that we have. But right now, and for most of the day, we'll probably just go up and down. The beans are short, they're taking it well. But cutting at an angle has worked great too. So depending on the situation. So here I'm like encountering going around a hole. Obviously I planted around it. We don't want to go in that big hole. I know it's hard to see with camera that it's actually a hole there. But yeah, whenever I back up like that, like I just did, like I came up to a spot and backed up really quick. I want to back up really quick because the spread pattern, the chaff, the chapper, the material, the trash, whatever you call it, that's going out the back. I don't want it to be stuck in one clump. Like if you just pick the head up and stop, it's just going to sit there. And with no-till, strip-till operation, like it actually, that planting into something like that is troubling. It sometimes clogs whatever you're planting with. So yeah, fun fact. Focusing on that side, the head did actually pick up some dirt. I'm gonna go get that dirt out of there. Don't want any extra dirt in the feeder house, so here we go. Good there. Good there. I did check for any broken sickles too. There's some mud actually clumped underneath some, so let's get this back going here.
Hey, Kelsey, can you hear me?
Yep.
Are working a little bit with the guidance or not?
Yeah. pretty when you got trees on the side there, but always gotta watch where your auger's at. That's a fun fact. Because it would not be fun if you weren't watching and you hit something. I've heard plenty of horror stories about that, so I try to be very cautious. Less money you'll get, so you have to really somehow get all your beans out when they're 13.1 or 12.8, you know. But a lot of the times you're gonna have a variation, so yeah. I don't know if you saw my video from last night, but I was dealing with a field that had a bunch of wetter spots in it and dry, so at least this field is pretty consistent today. It's getting a little bit dusty. So you can see over there, it's working really good with the edging. So it's a 35-foot head, but making it seem like it's 33.6, and it's tight, but it's not too tight where it's stripping. So working pretty good that way. It was just something that we did in the GPS in the screen here to change that. Driving through a grassy patch here. video, so stay tuned.
He's got all his school stuff, so I don't want him to touch the railing and get
Yeah.
dirty. All right, you can dump then when you're good. You're with Auntie now.
Woohoo! Hi, buddy. Oh yeah, let's put it next to mine, right? Okay, let's get you buckled up though.